When you have osteoporosis, it is vital that you take every opportunity you can to strengthen your bones. A fracture can truly change your life. But as a physical therapist, I'm here to help you prevent those. Today, I am going to show you easy and simple ways to incorporate the best bone strengthening exercises into your daily routine. But first, we have to talk about what this best type of exercise looks like. In this chart here, you can see that strength or resistance training and impact training make some of the biggest benefits to bone strength and reducing your risk for fracture. Right underneath that, you see balance training, another key player in helping to keep you strong and stable. If you find it difficult to incorporate movement throughout your day, or you're not really sure how to, this is the video for you. I'm going to show you 5 effective exercises that you can easily incorporate into your daily routine. We have no more time to waste, so let's get started. This first exercise can be perfect when you find yourself in the kitchen. For example, if you're waiting for coffee or tea, you are cooking something, and you have just a few moments to spare. Instead of standing and waiting, we can maximize your potential here for bone strengthening. Using a stable kitchen counter, this is one of my favorite places to do this. Find a place where you can hang onto comfortably. Now, raise up onto your toes and then let your heels come down. Raise up on your toes and then let your heels come down. Now, if you have a high chance of fracture or you have a history of a vertebral or spinal fracture, modify how hard you are letting your heels come down. This is why I really like this exercise, because it is easy to modify or to soften the landing. This exercise should not increase pain. So if it does, modify how hard you are letting those heels come down. You will have more force going through your body when you're doing this on a hard surface. If you're doing this on a rug or on carpet, that will soften the stress that's coming through your body. Now, the reason impact exercises are very effective is because that impact or that stress that's coming through your body signals your bones to strengthen. You do also want to keep that in mind, that you are increasing the stress going through your body. If this is something you are trying for the very first time, err on the softer landing side first. When you start to feel more comfortable, you can make that landing harder. The goal here is aiming for about 10 to 20 repetitions every time you do this. Aiming for 2 up to 5 times per day, whatever fits best into your schedule. You can take this up a notch by turning those heel drops into an actual jump, just like this. But if you are dealing with joint pain, especially knee, ankle, or hip pain, or if you don't necessarily get a lot of exercise and you are just starting to get back into it, I would not necessarily recommend jumping. Not everyone is ready for jumping right away. Stay with the heel drops and master those for a few days, even a few weeks. Make sure those feel good. We're not trying to flare up pain. If you feel fairly confident with jumping, you have a history of being able to jump, are very strong and active, sticking with that same rep scheme of about 10 to 20 jumps can be effective. Again, making sure they feel good first. This next one, it fits in well when you are sitting on the couch watching TV. During commercial breaks, take advantage of movement. One way you can do that is simply going into a march. Now, I like this seated march because it incorporates some aerobic exercise, which can also be helpful for osteoporosis. Adding in this leg march brings in core. Core stability and strength can actually be related to balance. The better your core strength is, the better translation it can have into balance, which I think is pretty cool. Aim for 60 to 90 seconds, or try to go through the full commercial break. This way you can get short bursts of exercise that can easily start to add up. You can take this up a notch by moving into a weight-bearing position and completing the same movement. Being able to put weight through your feet helps to further strengthen your bones. But I recognize not everyone is ready for a standing position yet. So start seated first and then progress into standing when you're ready. Maintaining this for 60 to 90 seconds, a full commercial break to get those short bursts. Core strength. Also, standing is going to be involving a little bit more balance as well. So have support nearby if you need it. Now, this third exercise can be done when you are brushing your teeth. There are a few different ways you can challenge balance here. First, you can start putting one foot in front of the other in what's called a tandem stance. Once you're really good at that, you can move into a stance where just the toes of the back foot are touching the floor in a modified single leg stance, putting most of your weight through the front leg. And lastly, you can move just into a single leg stance. Doing any of these variations while brushing your teeth or doing another activity makes balance even more challenging. So make sure you do have a stable, supportive surface near you because, of course, we want to prevent falls at all costs and safety is of utmost importance. Try to aim for 30 to even 90 seconds each side and working to accumulate 10 to 15 minutes of balance per day to maximize your benefit. This next exercise can be done when you find yourself needing to stand up from a chair or a couch and go do an activity. Instead of just simply standing up and going about your activity, add a stomp, add impact. And it looks like this. Stomp both feet down as you stand up. Even better, try to do 3 or 5 repetitions before moving on to do what you need to do, as long as you're not in a rush. Adding this stomp adds stress to those bones, helping to make them stronger. Now, I will caveat this with, if you have knee arthritis, hip arthritis, joint pain or limitations that makes getting up from a surface difficult, make sure you have the foundational strength to be able to stand up easily before you add impact to the exercise. Look to accumulate 10 to even 30 repetitions per day. Now, when you are doing this, you can also soften how hard you are stomping your feet to the ground. If you have a history of compression fractures or spinal fractures, or you're just at a high risk for fracture, you can take it to a small stomp. You're still getting that impact, but we want to make sure we're doing it in a safe way. Just like in the heel drops, you can pretty easily modify the pressure that is going through your feet. Doing this on a softer surface can absorb some of that stress, so you're not getting as much going through your bones. Now, with osteoporosis, you do also have a risk for a wrist or forearm fracture, which is why upper body strength and weight bearing through the upper body is extremely beneficial. It also works the core, which helps to support your spine. Find yourself near a kitchen counter or a wall. Hold on with both hands and then walk your feet out a step or two. Your hands are about shoulder width apart. Think about keeping your body in a nice straight line as you take your chest to the surface and then push away into a push-up. Bring your chest to the surface and then press away. You can keep your heels on the ground or you can lift them up, whatever feels most comfortable to you. It's just most important to make sure your body does not sag or come out of this straight position. If it does and you allow the sagging, you're losing out on the core benefit. You can make this easier by stepping closer to the surface you're using. You can make it harder by stepping further away or moving to a lower surface. Aim for 10 to 20 repetitions per time or 1 to 2 sets per day. All of these repetitions can start to add up over time. These exercises offer a great place to start. When it comes to making significant changes to your bone strength, it's key to note that most research, especially involving exercise, is done over a 6 or 12-month period, sometimes even longer. It's important to make these exercises a habit. Put them easily into your daily routine so you start to establish consistency. that's where you're going to see the best results. There are lots of other exercises that hit on strength training, impact, and balance. If you're looking for more ideas, I have a video here that you can go to next. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, but would love more tips on bone strengthening, reducing joint pain and stiffness, make sure you subscribe to the channel by clicking this circle here. That way you won't miss out on any future videos.